Hello YouTube, Infinite Magicraid community, Gandalf here. So the patch has just dropped and we have now gotten the new skills for Edith and Villette. For those of you who can't stick around for the video and just want to know what my thought is, at least these two heroes are maybe a little bit more usable. Of course, at end game it doesn't change the meta or anything like that, but they did make these two heroes a lot more usable. For two heroes that you get guarantee free as you complete parts of the campaign, meeting certain star requirements, you are at least getting some usable heroes. And I do see them being helpful in hidden waves, especially, I mean, both of them have a role to play. I mean, Villette is a lot. So here's Villette. Villette has a much better sustained healing, healing every single turn, um, plus doing a little bit of buff or debuff blocking. And now that Edith can finally crit, her damage is going to be a lot more comparable. She's not going to, so her AoE is still going to be AoE, but it's not going to increase if it's just single target. Villette is going to be able to um, actually do a okay amount of damage because it's kind of going to do some extra damage scaling off of her HP. Now again, this is direct damage scaling off of HP. It's just nice to do a bit of extra damage, but she's not going to be a heavy damage dealer. Okay, so let's get into their skill set changes. We'll probably start with, okay, so we're on Edith right now. Let's talk about Edith. So Edith, um, before, let's just talk about, in case you used them before, right? Before it was just wet only. Now that if the target has wet, you can do enfeebleness too. So increase the direct damage taken a little bit more. Okay, so chance-wise, still 60% chance. Multiplier hasn't changed. Second skill, same multiplier, same chances, but the key here is that you have now the ability to do speed down. And there aren't many heroes, I think, that can do speed down or even speed down 2. In Hidden Wave. This makes it a lot easier and make Edith, a considerable good hero to use in Hidden Waves, the Faction Abyss, just because getting a speed down on the boss um, is a huge help. All right. The next one's on Ender Toll. So before, she was like converting extra crit rate and crit damage into skill damage. Clearly, that didn't help her with her damage at all. So now, instead, wherever she lands crit, she's going to get Resolute 2 up. All right, so that's extra skill damage up. So this is great. And she's going to get extra turn meters for every 50% crit damage over the exceeding part. So, and this can go up to 4 times. So if you're at 350% crit damage, okay, um, you are going to be able to get up to 12% turn meter every single turn, beginning of the wave and end of her every turn once you get to exclusive 3. Not that big of a deal, but it's sort of nice to have as well. So she's cycling her turns a lot more frequently, and wherever she's landing a crit, your entire team gets Resolute 2, which is a nice buff to get. Okay, not a lot of heroes can do scale damage up by 40%. Um, she deals 160% damage and has a chance to do the block buff. Not that great, but if we think about in the grand scheme of things, right? Now she's gonna do a little bit of slowdown. The attack's a lot more reasonable. She's gonna get the wet 2 down as well. These two free heroes, actually, you get a little bit more out of them. So now let's talk about Villette. So Villette used to, the heal was very inconsistent. You can't really heal much from it. Now, if you look at her, okay, if you look at her skill set, first of all, beginning of the wave, she's going to get 1 layer of Afflatus. And whenever any target dies, she can get up to 1 additional layer. And doesn't. So by the time you get to boss, you're going to have killed 10 enemies. So you're going to have 8 layers for sure. But every single turn you're going to get Ripple. So you're going to get Resolute from Edith, and you're going to get Ripple from Villette. So your basic damage is going to go up, all right? And every single turn you're going to restore HP. And whenever any allies falls below 30% health, Villette's going to cleanse all their debuff and restore their HP by 12%. Now you're going to have 8% extra afflatus when you have by the time you get to the boss. So if anybody gets below 30% during a boss wave or ally got hit by a trash mob somewhere along the way, you're going to restore immediately 24% HP. Very helpful. It actually makes these two heroes viable. You might want to even use them in Faction Abyss for sure. Like worth to try it out. And of course, she's going to be able to do the wet and um, speed down as well. I think we have code right over here. We do code. No, it's both of them are wet. So at least basic damage is going to be reduced by the boss, not the skill damage. All right, so hopefully that's helpful in terms of explaining um, the mechanics a little bit. Villette does have one extra thing. Let's go back to Villette one more time. So this is new for Villette. So when she has her ultimate, all right, you're gonna notice there's a special icon that lands on it. The next time when you hit this target, it's gonna take additional damage. So here we're just gonna attack um, this enemy here, and what we'll see is okay. Okay, so hold on. Let's read that one more time. What's gonna happen? Because she only has 5 layers right now, right? Oh, how does she get additional layers? I thought she was supposed to get. I don't know how she got the extra layers. Is it at higher exclusive you get extra layers at the start? Oh, sorry. 1 layer beginning of her turn or upon any target stats. So just she will naturally stack up her stacks as time goes on as well. Okay, there you go. But okay, we need to be 4 layer. Makes all enemy lose 12% of her HP. Raging waves. Okay. Uh, inflict 3 layers of raging waves for 2 turns. Each time the target takes damage from active skill. Okay, so it has to be active skill. So let's go back to Villette. Okay, so let's go to Edith. Edith is going to do an active skill here. And this is just going to be 1 hit, right? Yep, so we should see a second hit. They should all lose 1 layer of raging. So you saw there was a second hit underneath, right? So a little bit of extra damage. I'm gonna do it slow again, and it comes from her own attack as well. So you see there a second component as a percentage of her HP. That also scales off direct damage as well. It doesn't scale off of something, it's not like HP burn or anything like that. It's just HP damage and it caps, okay? It's the target's max HP, so cap at 36% of her max HP. So the damage it's like Raging Waves is going to allow you to do 36% of her max HP, which is nice, right? It's a okay amount of damage. The boss definitely has more HP than Villa by a huge amount, so it's 36% of her HP gets damaged every time they take extra damage, and it does 3 layers. Up to 3 layers can be owned. I inflict 3 layers. So at exclusive 3, it's like doing 100% of her HP damage as extra. In the grand scheme of things, is not a lot, by the way, so don't be overly excited by that. But a little bit of damage is always nice, and it helps with the overall DPS. So there you go. There you have it, guys. Changes to Edith and Villette. Overall, yes, definitely is a buff. It's helpful. I do see them having some use, at least in Faction Abyss. They definitely won't be sitting in your box collecting dust. And if you're early out, early mid game, it might be even worth it to build them and give them a shot. Um, as both of them, I mean, one of them is, for example, if you're missing another support, right, for your green faction, or sorry, your green tower or your blue tower. I mean, they're viable options as well because of the slowdown. I mean, not maybe not so much for Let because you have space there, but for a damage dealer, Edith might cut it for early towers, uh, if you still need another DPS to do a bit there and to also get the slowdown, right? If you don't have Guhana, right? Like she could be really good for the slowdown. All right, there you guys have it. Hopefully this was a helpful video, and I'll catch you next time. Gandalf out.